everybody, welcome back to another video. I have a very special retro review to share with you guys today, and that is the comic 2-pack of Anakin Skywalker, Padawan, and Assassin Droid. Why? Every video. Yes, this is a fantastic comic pack, one that I found at my vintage stock. They actually were selling a lot, but this one was a little bit more affordable than the others. It makes me want to go back and get them. I love comic packs, guys, and I've had the privilege to be able to review them in some retro reviews. I think I've reviewed 2 or 3 of them, and this is another one that I get to share, and I really like these. I think that there's nothing better than getting 2 figures from the expanded universe and a comic book. Literally, you can't beat it. I remember these being at my Walmarts and, like, always spending my money on the comic packs, and back then, Walmart had like 3 or 4 at a time, and I'd always have to like decide what I wanted to spend my money on. They were always a little bit more expensive than the normal figures. I think they were about $15 to $20. I felt that the price was always very fair for those, and you got some characters that you never saw in the movies, and they were fantastic. Again, like I said, comic packs are awesome. I have several of them. I've sold a few of them, but I wish I hadn't when I was younger. But yeah, so anyways, today we're taking a look at this one, and I do believe that there was a variant version of this with different packaging, the 2008 Clone Wars packaging. This was the 30th anniversary packaging, so it was 2007. So it would make sense if they went on and then just repackaged these. This is probably some of the figures that are the most difficult for me to want to open because they look so cool as they are, but this is the channel for that for the most part. I do keep some things in package, but this one I gotta open. I gotta read the comic book. I gotta be able to display these figures. So it does come with the comic book, Star Wars Republic number 57, and this is one printed with the 30th anniversary logo at the top corner here. As you can tell, this is a relatively large package. You can kind of see the packaging, the remnants of 30th anniversary on this. I really like the color scheme for it. It's very cool. I think that the way they designed these comic packs was fantastic, and I would literally pay Hasbro money. Well, I already do whenever I buy anything, but I mean extra if they would bring these back. Oh, they're so amazing. It's just one of those, like, I will have a heart attack if they ever bring this kind of thing back, because it was just so fantastic, and I think overall it was really well received. But anyways, yep, enough rambling, let's get on to it. So you got this like angular packaging, really cool. You get a picture of Anakin Skywalker here, a picture of the Assassin Droid here, and on the back you get a kind of a little bio over what the comic pack is about. It is, and the comic always has to do with the figures, so it's really cool. That way you know what one you want to buy maybe. And so you get a couple like cool red background images of the comic book, and then you get the 2 figures right here, as well as the wave that it comes in. And this particular vintage stock that I went to had this entire wave, and they were all mostly really expensive. This was the cheapest one at $20. I would love to have gotten the Jedi-looking ones in the corner. Those are going to be my next choice. So maybe if I go back and they're still there, I will definitely pick them up. But the other cool thing is this comic book relates to the figures, but the comic book was also sold individually. So this is the reprint for this actual figure pack, but you can find this comic book that is totally separate and published as a comic book generally. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm super excited. By the way, this is number 11, so yeah, let's check it out. Alrighty, so I got everything out of the comic pack, the figures, the comic book, and they also include the 30th anniversary mini magazine at the very bottom. I'm definitely going to look through this again because this had some fantastic figures. I think that this whole wave of 30th anniversary was super fantastic because it procured some figures that are still really sought after today. Darth Revan and Moloch. Right there. So, very cool. I really, again, love when they include these little snippets. Just, they become time capsules after a while, and you look back at the good times, the times that you took for granted because you didn't know that things were going to become the way they are now. Alright, I'll start with the comic book. I'm not a comic book reviewer, so I'll just flip through it, I guess, a little bit. So I really have always liked the Republic comic books. I have several of them personally because they tell the tale of the Jedi before their fall. On the back, it looks like a couple different other publications. So you've got like Tag and Bink. This looks like a Unleashed statue. And then some other things here. It looks like the art was done by Thomas Gorilio III, which that name sounds super familiar to me. I think he's done some other work. A really nice cover comic book, as I totally just like wadded up in the corner trying to open it. Obviously, Dark Horse doesn't do comics anymore, but ooh, I love the art. I'm so picky when it comes to comic books. I have to really like the art, which is one reason why I love my favorite comic book line is Star Wars Legacy. I love when it's just drawn with such care and detail. It looks fantastic to me. This looks like a really, really fun comic book. So here we pick up with Anakin. So yep, that's what this comic will talk about, is the Anakin and the assassin droid. I maybe should have read this before I did the review so that I could tell you the relationship between this assassin droid and Anakin. Just quickly flipping through, I mean, the color is fantastic. It's beautiful. Looks like maybe Anakin was with some friends. He's on a group with some Jedi. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on. I don't want to spoil it in case anybody wants it, but, like, can we talk about these Transformers, right? Did anybody ever have any of these? I have one. I have a Darth Maul one. That's the only one I ever got, but anyways, yep, that's the comic book. These ones that are, come packaged with the comic packs always have a really different feel to them. They're not as quality. They're printed on cheaper paper, and they don't kind of have that comic book feel, but they're still fantastic because I'm pretty sure I do not have this issue. Okay, so here are the figures that we get. Pretty dynamic looking figures. I'll review Anakin first since we know of him already. He does come with a very small lightsaber. This is his episode 3 lightsaber that I feel like nobody ever really corrects. Actually, I say that, yeah, it is. That's okay. There is some paint chipping on the sides where you can see the blue lightsaber coming off where the silver should be. That's okay. It's not too bad. I give these figures a lot more grace than the Black Series figures. But yeah, this is one that I've wanted for a long time. I think he looks really good. So just giving you kind of a close-up look of this Anakin. He's kind of battered and torn. He's definitely been in a couple skirmishes. And this is, I think, the only Anakin from episode 2 that I have seen figure-wise that has his robe. So that was one thing that makes him very unique. This is going to be, I say Padawan Anakin or episode 2 Anakin, but he has lost his hand at this point, as you can tell by the black glove. So this is going to be in between episode 2 and episode 3. Generally, comic books take place between them, unless you have a movie comic book, I guess. But I really like the tatters and tears of the sleeves. A lot of detail goes into that. I really like it, even on this side. Generally, I'm not a really big fan of hard plastic capes, but this one works because it doesn't come all the way down to the ankles, so it's a little bit more passable, if you will. But it's got some holes as well, and then you can see the legs, and the legs have articulation, thankfully. So in terms of the full articulation, the head has a ball joint, the shoulders are on a ball hinge, elbows on a ball hinge, wrists are on a swivel. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, the torso will turn. It's a little bit difficult inside the robe. The knees are on a ball hinge, and then the ankles, there is no ankle articulation. So it's not too bad. This is a 2007 figure, so this isn't any kind of repack or anything. It's made for this comic pack. It's really cool overall. The question is, do I put this with my Expanded Universe shelf, or do I put this on the episode 2 shelf? Technically, it's not episode 2. Taking a look at the assassin droid, he looks pretty cool, but I don't know if he strikes me as Star Wars exactly. He's got a very unique design, and this shoulder gun that actually pivots. That's really cool. That's super neat. Too bad. It's got, like, it doesn't really have articulation, but you can kind of turn it. The head is kind of interesting. It doesn't, oh, never mind. It's on a ball hinge on the neck. It's unique. I'll have to read the comic book to know more about it, and maybe I'll warm up to this droid. But yeah, it doesn't strike me as Star Wars just because it's not a figure that we've really seen. This is going to be one of those that's kind of posed where you have to keep his legs at an angle, because when you put him flat like that, you get super awkward looking legs. So I'm not a huge fan. This droid probably could have been a little bit better. I just noticed though that the arm is connected to the gun. So that's cool. He can point up his arm and it changes his gun. It looks like he has little guns under each forearm as well, connected to the elbow. He is a kind of a brown and gray color. I think the legs look really awkward. How his hips are so small, but the legs flare out just looks weird to me. But in terms of articulation, he's got a ball hinge neck, ball hinge shoulders, sorry, ball jointed neck, ball hinge shoulders, just a swivel on the elbow, and then the hips are on a swivel, the knees are on a ball hinge, and then the ankles are on a ball hinge. This guy's pretty flexible, and I think that he's going to be decently okay to pose. Hopefully he stands well. That's going to be the real key. But overall, I think these are two really nice, interesting figures, and it comes with a comic book. So, I mean, what can get better than that? that's basically it though, guys. Let me know what you think about this grouping in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.